Hello, good morning and welcome. My name is Jessica. I love romance. I attempt to write romance and I enjoy talking about romance.
And hi, I'm Emma and I pretty much do the same. Write it, read it, all the different types of it. And for the SFFRomCast, we're here to talk about sci-fi and fantasy romance.
We are. Welcome to season 2.
Yeah.
We are here again because we wanted to, basically, and we love it.
No one can stop us. So it's just
pretty much. We are grown-ups, we have the ability, so we are. Mm-hmm. So happy days. Come and join us.
Yeah. So it's season 2 and we decided to mix things up a little bit.
We have.
Last season we had 6 degrees of separation, which we're still doing this season because we liked it. It was fun. Mm-hmm. So we've got 6 books coming up, 6 episodes, and we've got a slightly different thing in that we're going to talk for a bit about some of the plot to begin with, bits that happen, and then we have our Wheel of Fortune topic.
A wheel.
Where we've picked like a couple of things. If you caught the season 2 trailer, you'll see what we had. Shall I read those out for later, or will just be a surprise as we get?
We'll surprise people as we go.
People if they didn't catch the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at the end of the episode, when we announce the book for the next episode, we'll also do our Wheel of Fortune topics, and we pick 4, and they're all different things from about 20, isn't it? We've got about 20 different things,
something like that.
So that we're like delving into different areas we might not chat about normally if we would just talk about the story.
Yeah, because I think we noticed last season that everybody has their bits and pieces that they love or that they hate. So it's kind of delving into something for everyone, really. Even us too, we have very different catnippy themes and things. So
and it's fun finding those out.
Yes.
I like reading it and going, Jess will like this bit. I know now, but I still seem to be discovering mine. I'm not quite sure. I
was going to say, we've not pinpointed yours yet because I'm waiting with bated breath to see where I can go. Oh, you'll love this so much.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. So to start us off, we are doing. I don't have a drum. A bit of a drum roll. We are doing Love in the Time of Wormholes by Jess K Hardy. Yep. So
I shall read the blurb for it before we make a start on the main bit. So on this deep space pleasure cruise, love is in the recycled air. Hospitality specialist aboard an interstellar pleasure cruise, Sunny is passionate about meeting the needs of the varied species who holiday aboard her ship during the day and avoiding attachments when the occasional guests meet her needs at night, until the best one-night stand of her life becomes her newest crew member. Now managing troublemaking magicians, matchmaking giants, giant purple lovesick aliens, brilliant, and protecting the ship and the VIP guests from aboard from vacationing space pirates are a snap compared to following her heart.
See, when you mention giant purple, just Barney comes into my head, and it really shouldn't.
I completely forgot they were purple when we were doing the notes on this ready for the podcast, like the reread.
Yeah,
it's just that detail must have just gone. So it threw me when I read that in the blurb. I was like, giant alien, yes. Who's the purple one?
One giant alien. Come on, first chapter.
Yeah,
straight in there.
Brilliant.
But yes. So come along, join us. Yeah. You'll love it.
Join us.
So let's get into it then.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Yeah, that's what we're kind of winging it first episode.
We are all the time. Definitely can't tell that we've been away or anything, that we're out of practice for this. So we're just going to do like the first bit. I made notes on it kind of up until sort of the plot point of where it's getting into the thick of it. So yeah.
Cool. We'll say before we start, check your spoilers, check your triggers, check your bits and pieces on author websites or wherever you buy your books and things like that, just to be aware. We'll try not to dump too many spoilers in, but yeah, there will be some bits and pieces that some might find a little bit unpleasant.
There is a trigger warning literally on the blurb on all of the websites and at the beginning. Should we just say what it is so that people can know not to listen if they don't want to? I mean, we're not going to go into details about it, to be honest.
But anything can be a little bit triggering. So.
Yeah, but Sunny has lost a child, so she deals with that grief. That's that's difficult for her. But we start with her. It's a great beginning for Sunny. She wakes up after a heavy night, doesn't she?
With her big purple monster in her bed. No, his bed. It's his bed, isn't it?
His bed. Yes, she's in his room because she steals his overalls, doesn't she? Because he says to her that he found her and she didn't have any clothes on at the time. That was even before she met him. God knows what she was doing.
Well, this is it. I like the fact that we jumped into that and we didn't know anything about it. And she just seemed the nicest, funniest, jolliest person ever.
Yeah. And she wakes up and she's had this night and she's got Eleni. Is that that's how I'm pronouncing it?
Yeah, Eleni.
They've got like a mental comm system sci-fi thing. Is she her assistant? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think she kind of has a role within the team. But I think their relationship is a lot closer than others within the team. Yeah,
so she works quite closely with her and she's late for a meeting, as you would be on that kind of night. But she hasn't actually slept with the what's he called? An Argosian.
Yes.
It makes me think of Argos. Reading that and my brain kept making it Argos. No.
You didn't go to till number 3, please.
No, that's it. You don't have the right ticket number. This works because they don't unless they're worthy. That's part of the culture. And that's what's really cool. Like they mentioned that in the blurb, because it's like this just like pleasure cruise ship out in space. So there's all different species that are there. And so you get to learn all these different things that have been imagined or from different planets and they're different
people's different customs.
And that's what Sunny's job and her team is like all about, is dealing with them, isn't it?
A hospitality specialist.
Yes, exactly. So and they also the meeting she's going to that she needs to get to, they're about to have their new L&C, which is languages and customs, isn't it?
You did get the little details.
Got the detail. They're starting that day, so she needs to get there to meet the new person. Who is it, Jess?
Oh wow, this is it. When you read in the blurb and it's like Sunny takes the occasional lover, I don't think occasional is the word that they should have used there, because when she kind of rocks up to meet this new dude, Freddie, he is one of the occasional lovers. They met on a different ship. It sounds like there was like somewhere else they could go to just to like hook up on a dating app and stuff like that. Like I can't remember what it's called, but like a Tinder-esque. I
want to say, isn't it? Oh no, is that the ship?
No, it was Squee or something.
Squee, I think so. Yeah.
It kind of made me go, ooh, that sounded a bit Squee. Yeah,
there's a lot of different acronyms and things, which is typical of sci-fi, I think. But they're funny ones, I think, on purpose. They're quite silly ones.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, so she gets there and but he wasn't just a one-night stand. He was like the best one-night stand.
The one-night stand, yeah. The one that you base all others on afterwards and before.
Hang on.
Have you got some quotes?
There was a quote. Oh no, but I seem to remember, I didn't write that one down, but it was, I think later on she was like thinking about him. Speak of the 7 orgasm devil, she calls it, when she's thinking of him and he pops up. It's like, okay. So Freddie's got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Freddie / Joshua, because they both had kind of like pseudonyms, didn't they? So it's if we do get confused, it's Freddie / Joshua and Sunny / Phoebe. Yeah,
exactly. They went anonymous, and because she likes to keep her relationships
short,
at
sweet,
a distance, she just wants the fun. And I love that she's not ashamed of that at all, because
Yes.
Elaine is bionic, isn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't get it so
she
much.
just doesn't get the hormone thing, so she's like, oh god, someone else you've slept with, seriously, Sunny.
Yeah, tick that box.
Yeah, but Sunny just doesn't care, which is nice. There's no slut shaming in this at all.
Yeah, with anybody I thought that was really nice for all of them.
Yeah,
so whenever somebody else was mentioned or something else was mentioned, nobody kind of, oh, how dare you. It was
I've got a note about that for later when we're talking about characters.
Full on.
So they're a bit shocked to see each other there, but the whole team's there and they instantly click. There's there's no secrecy about it, is there? Yeah, she like hightails it out, and he follows her, and he's obviously like
he's
excited,
smitten, isn't he?
Smitten. Like, wow, I've been just dying to see you again.
Yes. Was it the same for you? Did you love me as much? It was awesome. But yes, and she's obviously no. Well, she isn't, but she is. She's not no, but she kind of.
I mean, there is that voice, but she's like, no, I can't get involved with someone that's going to live, because they live on the ship. So it's not like they go off somewhere else. They live on the ship. It's kind of like, you know, Disney cruise.
First rule of cruise dating. Don't.
That's it. You're never going to get away from that person. You work with them and you live in the same.
Live with them, eat with
them. Same space. So
you don't crap where you
He's
eat.
Disappointed, but he accepts it and goes back to continue eating his cake. So,
there is the cake. And somebody's already finished it, haven't they? They're like, go back in, it's already gone. That's not my house.
He's just joking. You eat my cake while I'm gone. Yeah, and you meet the rest of the team, don't you? There's there's Elaine, there's Chan, who's kind of like their boss, isn't he?
Tig's in there.
Tig, who does the IT, and the security guys, who are, what are they, Rav, I think? No, am I imagining that? Who's the other one?
No, I think you're right.
Rax and Morgath. I don't know where they're from. I can't remember.
No, they don't have a huge amount of dealing with them, but...
No. But yeah, so that's their little team, and it is kind of like a little found family, isn't it?
Yeah, they kind of have their own little moments, and it's nice.
Cool. And they're talking about it's the meeting, they actually have to get on with work. And they've got a senator coming to join them, who's got her wife and her son, which is a bit odd. Yeah.
Being that it's a pleasure ship, and it's like, okay, that's weird. So there was the two notable things. There's that one, and there's something else that's a bit later, and it's like, okay, you know these two things. As soon as you hear the second one, you're like, they've got to be interlinked.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure. They do, don't they? And they're also talking about magicians they're getting on the ship too, and stuff, and the mishaps they've had with them before.
Deck 16.
Yeah, that's it. These are all the like funky things that are happening. So what goes on next after that? I suppose they just try and get on, don't they?
It's kind of working through the motions, isn't it? So we kind of we did stumble into I want to say Argosian now. Argosian at the beginning, and it's just the daily life of things. And
that's the next bit, isn't it? Because the first thing, like the first time her and Freddie have to properly like interact for work, other than like just being at the meeting, is he comes her for help with the big purple dude, who, I mean, they're huge, aren't they? They're like, because whenever people think like she makes out that she might have spent the night, they're like, and you're still alive.
That was Elaine, wasn't it? It's like, that's not compatible. Is not the thing that's going on here. But he's all, bless him, he's all sad, isn't he? Because he's got his love there, but she doesn't love him back.
No, he's had too much rum when he's dancing around with her like a serving drone. And he's squeezing it and the sensors are going off. Stuff like that.
It's there's a lot of so with Sunny, I found she was very matchmakery. So everything along the way, it's kind of, she's the match, like an Emma sort of situation, that she's kind of
not this
drawing.
Emma.
No, not that
Austin
one.
Emma.
You might be. You never know. She's drawing everybody in, and everybody comes around her, and then Freddie comes in, and then they kind of ebb away, and it was a real ebb and flow for me with it.
Yeah. And really like sweet. They're getting ready for things. So she meets the senator when they arrive and start talking to them, and obviously she meets the the son, Sai, and he's 10. And that is when you first kind of get the first
the
real
niggle of
idea.
why.
Yeah, exactly, that she's going to struggle with that a bit because they don't have kids aboard, obviously. It's
which,
like
there's a lot of the hidden bits in there, so it took quite a while in the book to figure out actually how old she is. I found that, so when you come to her, she's like young and carefree and enjoying life for what it is, and then when Sai appears, then it kind of everything starts falling into place with how old she is and why she's on this ship and why she's staying away from that kind of life. And
that's it. Yeah, exactly. And that's why she doesn't want to get involved, because you know she just doesn't want that pain again, and she doesn't feel whole anymore, does she?
No.
Bless her. And then they move on to they're going to have the fireball, aren't they?
Yes.
Which is a big like festival and stuff. And and at that point it kind of becomes apparent that Freddie's not taking it as well as he thought, because he's very good.
No.
Like
he
said
toes the line. He's very
he's like, okay, you said no, but he reveals his hand a little bit more. And she has one of her old one nights. He's like a regular one night.
Oh, he is,
yeah. He's a friends with benefits kind of dude.
Yeah,
isn't
5 years. That's longer than a lot of friendships I have.
Yeah. I did see details. I didn't know that. Now 5 years, all right.
Yeah, 5 years they've been coming
on and off. You know, he sounds pretty hot. There's no reason why she wouldn't. Why you wouldn't? For that one night stand, but she just can't do it, can she?
No, that scene was just really where she's like stripping off and she's like, I'm gonna do this, Freddie. No, shush, I'm gonna do this, Freddie. And it was just just the devil and the angel. Take your clothes off, but Freddie.
Yeah, exactly. We should also mention that the fireball type of plot pointy thing is that she kind of questions the senator a little bit about why they are there.
Yes.
And she's a bit dismissive and vague. And I think, have they already heard about the other people who are coming?
No, not just yet. I think it's around, we kind of get the little snippets with the senator, and then all these names, the Cravaxians.
Yeah, the FSKs.
Yes.
They call them, because they are not happy when they hear about them.
They're not good people.
But anyway,
we digress. Again, first time
around. So she goes to Freddie after that, and that's when he comes up with the idea of, why don't we just stay being Joshua and Phoebe, so we can indulge and keep it separate from, you know, the work thing. And she's like, all right then,
to know each other. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. She's happy with that, because it, you know, compartmentalizes it. Everyone knows that always works in romance.
Of course it does,
doesn't it?
Yeah. Get closer and still protect everything. Of course.
Yeah, totally. So they've got the FFKs, who they call, they've shortened it to that because they are the 4 fucking what is it?
Yeah. So there's this race who are, think of all the horrible things that people can be, like murderers, thieves, rapists, and then it's kind of like they'd all be stood there going, yeah, that's us. Hi, Cravaxians.
I didn't see rapists, because my note about that was quite different. I was like, they sounded really interesting. It was like, they're pirates, they're bad guys, they kind of sound like vampires. I was like, I'm kind of on board for these people coming on the ship.
See, this is the thing with me. My kids, every year when they're in a certain year at school, they're always pirates. And it's all well and good, and they're all running around going, yeah. And then my other half's like, you do realise they just murder and pillage and pilfer and rape. Exactly. And I'm like,
they were never cool.
No.
And they're not cool now. But in fiction, you know. But anyway.
I just went all in on that.
Yeah, they're like this, they're from this planet and this race of people who are just sound terrifying. Yes, and everybody's terrified of them and don't want them around, and they do not understand why
they're very primitive in their ways, so they kind of, the basic things do take
but that it's to do with Lunacorp, who are like the corporation that own
That
the
run the
ship,
ship.
and
Yeah.
they're part of this initiative, which is like to help them bring new industry and stuff.
Yeah, like an integration of things. So they're
Yeah,
trying to
I
kind
guess
of
it's like rehabilitation stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
When they come on board, the four of them, I think there's 2 women, 2 men, and they
Mhm.
actually then kind of, the prejudice is kind of already set in. So they're kind of all like, but they come on board, and actually some of them are quite funny, some of them are quite nice. One of them has a really nice little thing with Tig, and obviously Sunny is there to match make the hell out of that.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, your brain starts going, actually, maybe we should be a little bit
That's
nicer.
it. Yeah, exactly. That's very Star Trekky, isn't it? You got to peel back the layers of what's going on with different cultures and things like that. And and then after the fireball as well, Sunny also takes Tig, because she's worked so hard on the fireball, the technical stuff, to T, and Tig tells her that she's realized when she was organizing everything that there's like this hacking going on.
Somebody's hacking the system.
Manifest and stuff like that. So there's obviously quite a lot of strange things, unanswered questions, odd, out of the ordinary things.
There's this little spiral of things, that this is there, and the senator, and they find out about a proposition which is a bit bland, but something's a bit off.
But she's kind of said that's what it's about, and it's like, but really, that doesn't sound like it's anything too much. Yeah. So there's stuff going on. I think it's really nicely done with that and the little romance along.
They do. They integrate so well, and you don't kind of get drawn out of the romance to get into the plot. They are just
there's always something balanced.
Entwined.
They're doing one thing, and then but there's a little bit more information, and it just builds quite nicely. They're cool. Yeah,
it is. And then she always starts to call Freddie in when something kicks in. That's her first instinct to go, oh, this is happening, I'll give him a call to help. And he does, with all of the bits, even the good bits, the bad bits, all the little bits. He's always first in the mind. I like it.
So do you think that's a good bit for us to move on to our next section, which we're going to do main characters next?
Yes, we should, I think, because if we go too far into it, we're going to end up 7 hours later.
And we've been talking about them anyway, so it's like
let's infiltrate the characters.
There we go.
So this is the new bit that we've added for this season, that we're going to pick all these little bits out. And main characters was on our spinny wheel from last week, which we'll be doing later, so you can enjoy that too. So we've spoken a little bit about the 2 mains. So we have Sunny is our female in this one, and I nearly said Cher. Freddie is our other one.
That's not a great love story.
No, it's not. But that's one of those things that comes into your head every time, isn't it?
Sunny and Cher. Sunny and Freddie.
So Sunny is our one, our female main character, and we sort of discussed a little bit before that she is super carefree. She's super friendly. She's one of those people that you'd meet and everybody would love her, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the thing. She seems like she comes across as carefree, but like I think it's when she first sees Freddie and is thinking about why it can't happen and it's not good, and she's like, but she feels like she's clinging on by her fingertips internally. But one of the things that's so lovely about her is that even though she's really going through a lot, she's just still so warm and generous and wanting to, like you said about matchmaking.
I've got a list of all the ones that she's, there's Shannon, there's McKenna, there's Tig, there's Gavin, and every single person that she's kind of helping along the way.
They want to she just wants to see everybody happy, and I guess that makes sense with a hospitality side of, but she's just really warm and lovely, and funny as well. internally. Her internal monologue is quite funny. There's quite a few little.
Yes. Well, this is it. It's her internal stuff and the stuff with Elaine that I loved.
Yeah.
So everything that I read. So yeah, if you watched last time or if you're watching now, we will mention it a lot. I have my two girls, and as soon as they started talking, I could see my household,
Yeah.
the siblingness to it.
Uh-huh.
And Elaine is like the bigger sister.
Yeah.
So Sonny will say something and then she's like, oh, you don't want to do that because of this, and oh, you're going to be late again, are you? And I loved it so much. Not nice in my house, but to sit and see it, was so
that's
fun.
it. It's always much easier when it's removed in a book.
Yeah, and it was done so well.
Yeah,
I just loved that.
I think that was again something that really showed how lovely and warm Sunny is, in that, you know, Elaine is quite, because she's bionic and she doesn't want to do these upgrades.
Yes.
She's like, there are upgrades available to give her more hormones and
to make her more human, I suppose. Give her more compassion and stuff, but still more that
emotive drives and things. But she's like, no, she's like avoiding it like the plague. And that can make her seem quite judgmental, like you say, about what Sunny's doing. But Sunny just takes it all
on the chin, isn't it?
So nicely. She's like she understands that they're fundamentally different, and it's like it's fine. She just, you know, and they've still got this lovely bond and do look out for each other as well. Apart from with the pulse.
Yeah, well, that's the later one, but this is it. It's kind of, you see them, and Sunny and Freddie are so good together, that they're so right, and I think that's what kind of helps you want to go and keep pushing the book, and like, because they would work perfectly together.
Yeah, it is. And it's not one of those books where it's like the, you know, Sunny, because you really only see it from Sunny's perspective. It's third person,
it's her,
but just
from
her sort of close third person. It's not one of those things where they're just always, oh no, and like she does progress, and she knows that she needs to try, and so she does, you know, she's not like unwilling to try. She, you know, having him around, and it's too much for her to not take the temptation, but it is because internally she also knows that she wants to do that. She doesn't want to continue being closed off in that way, and so it does keep moving. You don't get that kind of frustration that you get with some other books, I think, sometimes, where it goes on and on for too long.
Yeah, and you push in, and 6 hours later.
Yeah. That was a different conversation.
That was a totally different conversation. But I know exactly what you're talking about. 6 hours. But so then let's leap into Freddie in his flannel PJs.
Much. Yeah, I was really interested to know what you thought of Freddie, because he seems like he's more of my type of hero than your type of hero. And I mean, even I was like, wow, he's really like just he's so old-fashioned. She describes him, and she teases him about it as well.
Well, his name even is, isn't it?
Everything. Also lovely too.
Well, there is that instant love. As soon as he sees her, it's like, oh my god, I love you so much. And he's not my normal cup of tea. Yes, let's put it that way. There were no pinning to walls and desks.
No, it's not that kind of a.
It's definitely not that kind of book. But no, that's it then. So if it gets to the stage where I've really enjoyed the book and he's not grated on me, which he really didn't, I loved him and he would be awesome to have around the place, then that's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, he totally would. I think he because where's he? Is he from Venus? I think.
I don't know. He bought her fluffy socks.
Yeah. to have a nap in. He's so kind and sweet. But it's like he never gets like all pissy with her about her not wanting to get involved, but like genuinely doesn't. And what you mentioned earlier about like nobody being sort of slut shaming in this book, like she even talks about
Gavin when she woke up with him.
Oh wow, he survived that, but no judgment. He doesn't get annoyed because she's alluding to the fact that she's had a one-night stand with someone else or anything like that. He's just like, a grown up. It's just a grown
really
up.
is.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, a really, really nice, grown up. And Sunny describes him at one point, which I thought was really nice. And she says, he was the perfect cocktail, the warmest bath, comfort and heat all at once, which is nice.
Do you want to know the quote that I wrote down?
Go on. I suppose, is it going to be really different?
His man part smelled like fresh washing drying in the breeze.
He does get described as linen, smelling of linen quite a lot.
I was just trying to imagine, it's like when you plug your air wick in and it smells like open window or something. And I'm just like, what does it is right though, because when you put your washing in, again, if any Americans are listening, I don't think they put washing out very much, but
oh, okay. Yeah, they have dryers, don't they,
yes.
usually? Like a big washer and a big dryer.
Yeah.
Can't afford that electricity-wise.
Not at the minute, no.
Oh my God. Not even before. Not so much now either.
I always assumed it was an age thing, isn't it? When you bring your washing in and you're like, ooh, it's so nice.
Nice. Smells all fresh. But apparently that's what his man part
that's what
which
I've never done it with a penis. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Oh, it's so nice. On that note.
And he's funny too. Like, she's funny. They banter, don't they? But like in a nice way. Because she teases him about doing his puzzles. She's like, how old are you?
Yeah.
Do
me puzzles.
Yeah. And
he at the beginning,
her hair back when she's
he's sick. But at the beginning, when they kind of first meet, she's they go outside, don't they, to talk, because everybody knows everything. And he's like, I'll give up the job. I don't care. It's you.
Like
at
that.
The very beginning.
It's just like,
and she's like, no, you're a good LNC. You're this. We need that. You need that. He's like,
we need you for that. And it's like, well, you know,
this is love.
Tons of them like me.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, they're very sweet, and like you say, it feels like they're meant to be.
Yes,
which is what you want in a romance novel, basically.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. So should we head on to number 2?
Shall we move on to favourite scenes?
Favourite scenes. So my first one was we mentioned earlier about Garen, and he's got loads of names, bless him, the big purple dude, when he's crushing the bot because he's lusting after, is it Casa? I'm calling her.
Casa.
And she comes in and she dances with him, and I just love the fact that there's this big magnificent thing and he's got all the feels, very similar to the other characters. It's so against the grain of what's there, that he's this big huge thing that is like impenetrable, but then he's just so nice and sweet, and how they dance together,
like gentle and the cuddle. So is that when he's dancing with Casa? Is your favorite?
No, this is when he's dancing with Sunny. He's kind of talking about Casa and how that she thinks he's unworthy, and I could just imagine this big drunk dude, because I think he's had a few drinks, hasn't he? And he's just
just a few bottles.
And he's like, she doesn't love me, I'm unworthy, I just want to plough her fields.
I totally had that quote too.
And then
he doesn't even mean it.
He doesn't mean it that way, he means a literal fields. And I was just like, oh, you're so lovely. So that's one of my favorites.
That was lovely. And they end up like just sitting round, don't they, all three of them then? With
because Freddie, she's called him in, so he's in the battle. He calls her in, I think, doesn't he? Because he's there. He's like, we've got this big purple drunk dude.
He wants her, doesn't he? Because he knows her.
Yes.
And I thought it was really cool that she called in Eleni too, because Eleni's bionic and she's like super strong.
Yeah, she could fix it if needed.
Freddie was like, I won't be unmanned by the fact, because she was like, I think I'll be fine. Eleni's here. She could deal with him. And it's like, all right.
That's true. Yeah. Logical left brain.
It's fine. Yeah.
So what about you?
That's nice. So, I mean, it's not really a scene, to be honest. I'm already breaking the rules. But I love the fireball, because it's kind of a set piece, I think you'd call it, more than a scene. But it's like the fireball is because there's lots of different festivals, and so they created just on that ship, which I don't even think we said the name of, have we? How are we pronouncing it? Ignistar. They've created their own Fireball Festival, which is like just to celebrate all of them at the same time, all the kind of winter festival.
Eat, drink, be merry.
And it's just full of pyrotechnics and shows, but it shows how I'm being really like nerdy and righty. It's like it shows how all the characters work together, because you've got like Sunny's doing her bit with Garen to the matchmaking because he's coming along, and Freddie's there like advising about what they should and shouldn't do, like avoiding the flash mobs. Yes, it really offends some, like there's a particular, you know,
a race that doesn't like it.
They're mortally offended by a flash mob. And taking salt off of tables and things like that, and Tig's organising all of the fire pyrotechnics, and you've got the magicians there with Dave the Goat.
Dave the Goat. So do we do an honourable mention for Dave the Goat now? Because Dave the Goat is awesome.
Dave the Goat is cool. Yeah, the magicians are there, and they're like, he just appears randomly
on a table
around the room.
It's the moment when Sunny and Raphael kind of get together. So Raphael is the dude we mentioned earlier, who she has her thing with, and then they're sat to have this moment at the table, and then a goat just appears.
Yeah, exactly.
And then goes again.
That's it. And
best night
and it
ever.
it draws in all those different things, and I like scenes like that, which you're kind of seeing what's happening with everyone, because the senator arrives and Sunny has the chat with them, and then she's worn the wrong dress.
Oh yes,
the dress from the one night stand, and like Freddie takes it as a sign. I think it was reading a little bit much into it with the dress. Like,
well, this is it. I think she kind of says but at one point she's like, did I mean to wear the dress?
Did I subconsciously do it? And that's when he like shows how he's, you know, he's desperate for her, bless him. But they go behind the scenes, so it kind of like moves their relationship on a bit. But it just sounds so cool with all of the like, it made me think of like it was Cirque du Soleil meets Moulin Rouge type of thing.
Yeah, different table, different things happening.
I was expecting more to happen with the Warple cake, to be honest.
Did it?
Nobody ate Warple
cake.
I think if she'd have eaten it, then maybe the thing with Raphael would have happened anyway.
Well, it might have been all together. Together now.
It would have been a bit of a that's what it sounds like.
Really?
Yeah. So there's that one. And then shortly after that one, when they decide upon this idea of them being Joshua and Phoebe, she has to go and babysit Sai, and that's my other scene that I like.
Really?
Because she finds it really hard, and she has like a panic attack.
Yes.
And she gets on the comm. I was going to say the phone. It's not a phone.
She gets on the phone.
Gets on the comm to Freddie, and he talks her down from it. Yeah. And then he turns up and he bakes cookies.
They bake.
And he reads a story to Sai. He just helps. He takes over, and he's there, and he supports her. And then they make out on the sofa.
Oh yeah, and then some. It's babysitter plus. One of
my catnips. I don't know. I was reading it. I was like, I like it when characters make out
on the sofa.
I don't know why. I don't know. It's like a comfortable thing, you know.
Yeah. Then you can get up and have cake.
Cookies.
Yeah. Next time I find it, I'll give you the book, and then we'll have to see if it really is
organic. If they're making out on the sofa, I don't know. Maybe it depends on the circumstances of it. But I thought it was just funny, because they were like all grown up and dealing with all this stuff, and then they're like a pair of teenagers babysitting.
They were perfect together. It was very good. Cool. So it's me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get lost in things. Okay. So I think we both kind of would agree that Podgate is the scene. So so there is a floor. I even wrote the floor down because I did deck 36. Yeah, where Elaine.
Information I just would not hold on to.
You have to know. If you were on the ship, you would know exactly. What do you not go to a hotel and go, the buffet is over there, the pool is over there, the bar is over there?
No,
I am that person.
Where was that thing again? I think it was in this direction.
It was over that. No. You go left again, then you go right through that door. There's your table.
Yeah.
Yeah, very anal. Yeah, so deck 36, she gets a call from Elaine going, you've got to come and help, you've got to come and help. So she calls Freddie straight in, and there is a floor of sex pods, basically, aphrodisiac pods.
Yeah.
And
Pleasure
something
pods,
has,
I think it is, or something.
Yeah. Something has happened, and whatever gets pumped into the pods is pumped out of the pods to the entire deck.
Is it? It's like a wave of some kind that like stimulates something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That,
they're kind of chatting like, we should fix this. And as they're doing it, like that he's undoing his shirt. And we should fix this. And there's a tie.
Hold on. Like, let's just go in the cupboard.
Yeah. And then they have the sex. So that's that. Yeah, the many sex. God, yeah. The chafing after that they are sore.
When it gets, because she has to then call Elaine, because really Elaine legged it, but she's the only person that can deal with it.
Yeah, cannot be affected.
It won't affect her, so she has to come back again and fixes it. And then afterwards they're like, look, it's hurting, but we need to do it that's like genuinely us.
Yes, without the air sex thing.
Yeah. But I loved as well, what I loved about that scene was afterwards, like usually something like that, a big malfunction would be quite likely people would sue, but everyone was like, a good time was had by all.
Fine. Yeah.
It's like everybody that would have been on that floor anyway really didn't mind. That's what they were there for anyhow.
I was like, brutal honesty, if it was that kind of ship, you would want to put it in the next brochure, wouldn't you?
And it had malfunctioned because it had been overused.
Yeah. It's like Magaluf but a floor.
That was cool.
So we'll move on to,
I think we've got comparison titles.
We do.
Okay, right, let's move on to that. So we're on comparable titles.
Comptitlers.
That's funny. I went to parents' evening yesterday, slight digression, and they said that the new phonics thing is teaching the kids how to do that. That's what we were doing before, wasn't it? Like how to remember to say words like lingerie in order to remember how to spell them, and it's working more for the kids. And it's like, well, because that's how we
do it.
But anyway, comp titles. I was kind of like a bit stumped with this one.
Yes, sci-fi is not our street normally.
No, it's not, is it? We don't read a lot of it. And
we delve a bit into it. Well, I suppose it's the softer side that.
Yeah, I mean, I do read some, but it's probably just one of those areas that eventually I'm going to end up reading it non-stop. Like you go down a path and you read vampires endlessly, and then you read shifters endlessly, and
they have a way of interlinking. So I go for dark, and then dark leads me to mafia, and then mafia leads me to motorcycles, and motorcycles lead me somewhere totally
you're looking for, and then you find that particular thing, and if it's got that ingredient, then you go down that path.
Go down that route. It's like a labyrinth.
But as well as that, we also have the thing that I don't think this is a very typical sci-fi romance.
No,
because a lot of them are like, battles and warring races and or alien abductions, taking slave humans to go breed them and things like that, which I've read my fair share, and I do enjoy those.
But it's nice to go on the lighter side.
But that's it. It's like, it's quite a different setup. It's this ship that's like not a hostile environment, and they're the people that work on it. And so really the first thing in my head to compare it to, I don't know if you've ever watched this, is Lower Decks. Have you ever seen the cartoon Lower Decks?
No.
It's a spin-off from Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
But an animated series, and it's kind of like Star Trek meets Family Guy type of humor, not quite as
grown
on
up
the edge as that, but and it's about the people that work on the lower deck. So all the like the officers and the crew are off doing their like Starfleet
beaming me up
stuff, and they're like the engineers, and you know, it's really funny if you get a chance to watch it. But that's what it reminds me of, because it's like you get their like friendships and what they're doing to just like be normal and keep things running. That's what it reminded me of, first and foremost. And then the only other thing that I really read that I could compare it to is Ruby Dixon, but not Ice Planet Barbarians. It's the
Corsairs, you're going to say. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the novellas, because they're like on this planet that's been colonized, and they're giving parcels of land to the the human women that have been abducted.
Yes.
So it's a lot less. I mean, there's a little bit the same as with Love in the Time of Wormholes. There's a bit of, conflict and drama and stuff that's like actiony type stuff. But ultimately, it's a kind of normal life, and then wanting to have a normal life and have an arranged marriage with an Ice Planet Barbarian,
a big blue dude,
convict or something like that. And they are great little
they are little cases. They've timed when I'm sat in the dentist or somewhere, I've always got one out. Perfectly.
So what did you get?
Okay, so I kind of went for something that is it's a reverse harem RH1, and it's very similar in the fact that there is a woman who has a ship and she's trying to get away from something, and she ends up on a planet that is it's like a sex planet. There's lots of I want to say brothels, but I don't know if it's the right word. But yeah, there's lots of pleasure houses, but they're robots.
Yeah.
So all of the men in these places are all robotic and bionic. And it's by Kathryn Moon, and it's called Good Deeds.
Oh, you were telling me about this one.
Yeah,
Kathryn
so it's
Moon
kind
is of the
Ruxford
Manor, something like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna say Raven, but it's Ruxford,
the big
isn't it?
monster RH
yes.
that everybody
everybody went through.
Year.
So I kind of read that, loved it, went through her other ones, and this is very similar. So you've got this girl who's on her ship. She wants to get away from her home planet, because there's loads of things pressing on her there. She has to do this, she has to do that, she has to do the other. So she's got her own ship. She's gone off living the life that she wants to lead, but she goes into heat, and she gets to this planet and there's all of these robots, and she's got to decide whether, if she goes home, she has to find somebody and then she has to mate and stay there and be a bit of a breeding ground, or she can go to this planet and kind of keep the life she wants and do it that way. So there were bits of all of it mixed in, so I kind of like that.
And I mean, I don't know what that one's like, but the monster one was very like sex positive as well.
Got all of it. Yes,
you get that with Love in the Time, although it's like not the theme. It's obviously not as erotic as that. Like, it's not erotic romance, but you get that nice feeling of
there are so many different. There's all sorts of types of robots. So whatever tickles your fancy, you've got
whatever
this like
your fancy, and no shame here.
Exactly. You've got this sparkly one who's super pleasure bot, and then you've got a romantic one who kind of does the massages and stuff. It was really good. So
cool. That sounds good. Well, I'm gonna go and read that one. You've already read my one.
I so have.
Yeah. So what have we got next? We've got
one.
Author's Other Work is our final one.
It is. Let's get to it. So Author's Other Work, we've got to delve into the next book in the series, which isn't out just yet. It's not long, I don't think.
Well, when this airs, I think it's around the same time.
Just be coming out.
Because we're hoping this is going to be like Easter towards the end of April, and I think it's April. So it may have just come out, or it's coming out. So you won't have to wait.
No. So the next book is I Bionic, which is Elaine's story, which if you kind of read through the blurb, as we kind of mentioned, it is Ice Planet Barbarian to me. Kind of read about it, that she goes off planet with the physician, is he?
I think so, yeah, because she
Yes.
has her upgrade that they've been
Yes.
talking about, which was
Yeah, at the
really,
end of this book, she kind of, there's a moment where you're like, okay, is she okay? She's a bit, oh, that's why she's different.
The hormones. She's going through puberty,
Yeah, pretty much.
basically. And then she goes off and has like an Ice Planet barbarian type
thing.
which sounds so cool.
This book mixed with those books that we love together, it's just
exactly, that's gonna be a winner.
So good.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yes.
We also so Love in the Time of Wormholes is published by Mystic Owl, who are like quite a new imprint of City Owl Press.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we're reading quite a lot of their books at the moment because
they
are focused on fantasy and sci-fi romance, which is lovely, having those, like an actual imprint for it.
Yes. It's been a struggle to find them.
Yeah, and they've done a couple of anthologies, haven't they, which were Christmas ones, which were called, I think, Magic Under the Mistletoe, and I think Jess K Hardy had written some short stories that were in those as well.
Yes.
So you can put some short and sweet ones there. And she's also done some rom-coms, I think.
So I found The Bench. Did you find it with the two single dads?
I think
that looked awesome.
Double single dads.
I know. It was kind of, I was sort of reading it. I'm like, la 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 la, second chance romance. Ooh. And then the kids get involved and pull them together. That sounded really sweet.
And then there's the 7 Rules of Moving On as well. I think is either she's just had it out or it's coming out soon or something. I think that's another novella, and it's like set around Valentine's Day and stuff. So if you do read something that's other than fantasy or sci-fi romance, like I do, she's a woman after my own heart, doing like rom-coms and fantasy romance. That's my MO, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, looks like there's a few bits and pieces out there.
Job done.
Lovely. Cool. So it's time to move on to next week.
Episode number 2. 2 of 2. Ooh. So let's dive in.
Okay.
So anybody who joined us for the trailer knows of our spinny wheel of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we've picked our book. We're keeping with the theme of 6 degrees. So from this one, we are going with traumatic past, because a lot of romances have them. So we are linking that to our next book in the series, which is
Angel Born by L. Penelope. It's actually more of a novella, but some romance books are shorter, some are longer, so it's probably not far off. But so it's got angels and it's cool.
It's good.
Yeah. And of course the heroine is she's the one with the traumatic past, because it's linked to her being able to see ghosts, which is a cool little twist, which obviously we'll get into next week. But for now, we shall share the screen and do the spinny wheel.
Spinny wheel of awesome.
Spinny wheel of awesome. Right. How do I do this? There we go. Right. Here's my spinny wheel. Shall I go first like I did last time? I'll do the 2.
Yes.
Here we are. We've got lots of adverts at the bottom. There we go. Right. We're ready. I should get a pen quickly.
Yes.
I can write them down.
We've changed spinny wheel of awesome to something totally different because we didn't write anything down.
Yeah. Right. Spin. I was going to say, where's the Wayne's I did the hair on purpose.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Romance.
So,
romance.
There we
go.
That's
fitting.
The focus on the romance. So obviously that's not just general. That's like specifically what's good about the romance.
Everything.
Now, I think I've hidden it. Yes. And I'll do one more spin. That's what I think from it now. World building. Lovely. Can you hear the music that I get? Yeah.
it when it goes off with the confetti, and then it kind
Very
of goes.
Simish. It sounds very Sim-like music. Right.
Just have a little diamond above your head for next time.
Yeah, little green. God, I wish I was a Sim. It's so easy to get them to do the housework in comparison to me.
Yeah, just so easy to do things. All right, now I need to figure out how to do mine, because this is what
done you. I've got you sharing. There we go.
Ooh.
Look at that. Very nice. Purple.
It is very okay. I've done it right. There's no holiday things on this one. That's quite miserable.
You need to re-tick your main characters and comp titles.
Do I?
Yeah, because you hid them from before. There we go. Because it looked
okay.
Not as squished as my wheel.
There we go. All right, let's spinny, spinny, spin.
Spinny, spinny, spin.
So are you going to do the music for this one?
I'm not as good at it as you.
I'll think of one for the next one.
Yeah.
Spin-off potential.
Spin-off potential.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. I can't write down and do things at once. Let's Heidi.
Well, we established earlier my multitasking does not work.
2 hands, no brain, Jessica. That's how I usually go. All right, ready? And
maybe I'll get really fancy next week and actually get a sound.
Catnip
tropes.
Nice.
Is it gonna have any?
If there is no arm caging, then
do you already know? There we go.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I've read a lot of them recently that they're in there, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't think so from memory.
Yeah, you would remember.
I would remember. It. Yeah, I'm not one of those people who puts all the sticky notes in that I've seen like on TikTok where they've got like a.
No.
I can't be doing that, but yeah.
No,
I would probably tag it at some point.
I hardly read any paperbacks these days. I do read some, but it's probably like 1 to every 15 Kindle books.
Yeah.
Or something. That's about the ratio.
It's just days. So easy to tick that box and do that. And it's there on my phone, on my Kindle, on my iPad, on my thing. We're very spoilt for choice these days.
We are. Absolutely, which makes it quite hard when you're trying to whittle it down to 6 books.
Yeah, which one are we going to do? Well, we'll start with 20 and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll narrow it down from there and then trying to get them to link as well. We're not complaining, it's all by choice.
Yeah, yeah, nobody's making us do this.
So, yeah, there are worse things that can happen to you than having to read a lot of books.
All these books, yeah. But yeah, so that is it for this week, for this episode. Yes, we hope you liked it.
Yes, you can come and tell us what you think on social media. We are on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. Is that everything? I think that's
we have YouTube as well, so that's that's more comments than interaction.
Yeah. So just SFFRomCast, and if you're listening to this and you'd like to see it, we have the YouTube channel. You can see our faces, me doing silly hand motions and stuff like that. Spot what's in the background.
Mooch at Emma's books. Look at all my junk there. It's good.
You can do that, or you can just continue to listen. We have it on Apple and Spotify and Anchor,
all of the good places.
A whole other bunch of places, which is lovely. Yes. Yeah, that's it. We're good.
Yes. So join us next week and we will be looking forward to speaking to you.
If you've got any other books that are in the sci-fi arena as well, we do want to
let us know.
Spread our wings in that area and sample some more delightful things, then do let us know.
Exactly.
Lovely. Hopefully you'll catch us next week.
Yes, until then, be good.